Hello students, today we can see the topic gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? It is the process of formation of haploid gametes from the diploid primary germ cells present in the gonads, that is testis or ovary, is said to be as gametogenesis. Okay, genesis actually means formation of gametes. Okay, so gametogenesis is the process of formation of haploid gametes from the diploid germ cells present in the gonads, that is the testis or ovary, is said to be as gametogenesis. Okay, this gametogenesis is of two types, spermatogenesis and oogenesis. As you know, two type of gametes are there, isn't it? Male gametes or the sperm and the female gamete or the ovum. Male gametes will be produced in the testis and female gamete will be produced in the ovary, isn't it? So, gametogenesis is of two types, spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Okay. Now, what is spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the formation of haploid male gametes called spermatozoa from the diploid germ cells present in the testis. Okay. What is spermatogenesis? It is the formation of haploid male gamete called spermatozoa from the diploid germ cell present in the testis. Okay. The spermatogenesis is divided into three phases. What are the three phases? Multiplicative phase, growth phase and maturation phase. Okay. So first is the multiplicative phase. As we have seen earlier, the seminiferous tubules are lined by two types of cells. What are they? The germ cells and the Sertoli cells, isn't it? This germ cells will undergo mitotic division and produces a large number of diploid cells. What is the ploidy of this germ cell? It is diploid in nature. Okay. This germ cells undergo mitotic division and as a result a large number of diploid cells are formed and they are the sperm mother cells called spermatogonia. Okay, so what is the name of the cells formed from this germ cells? They are the spermatogonia and they are formed as a result of mitotic division, so they are also diploid in nature. Okay, so what is the ploidy of our normal diploid cell? It is 2n, that is diploid, or it is having 46 chromosomes. Okay, so this spermatogonia is also having 46 chromosomes. Okay, these spermatogonia will be again going on dividing and some of these cells will enter into the growth phase. Okay, some of these spermatogonia will enter into the next phase called the growth phase. Now, what is that growth phase? From the name itself, we can say growth of the cell occurs. Okay. So, what happens to this spermatogonia? They increase their size. How they increase their size? Due to the accumulation of nutrients in the cytoplasm. Okay. So, these spermatogonia increase their size due to the accumulation of more amount of nutrients in the cytoplasm. We can say about twice the size they will be increasing. Okay. And now these cells are called as primary spermatocyte. They are also diploid in nature because no division has taken place. They have increased their size. So the primary spermatocytes are also diploid in nature. Okay. Now this primary spermatocyte will enter into the next phase, that is the maturation phase. So during maturation phase the cells undergo meiotic division. Okay. So the primary spermatocyte now undergoes first meiosis. It undergoes the first meiotic division. As a result, two cells are formed which are equal in their size and they are called the secondary spermatocyte. Okay. The primary spermatocyte undergoes first meiosis. As a result, two equal cells are formed. That means two cells are formed which are equal in their size. Okay. And they are haploid in nature. Why they are haploid in nature? Because they are formed as a result of meiotic division. So, the cells are haploid in nature. Okay. Now, these two secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiosis and as a result of that, 4 haploid spermatids are formed. Okay, how many cells are formed? 4 cells are formed and they are haploid in nature. Okay, because they are formed as a result of second meiotic division. And these cells are called spermatids. Okay, so how many spermatids are formed? 4 spermatids are formed. Okay. Now, the spermatid which is formed is just like a normal cell, isn't it? It is round in shape and it is just like that of a normal cell. So, if it is like that, it cannot move, isn't it? The sperm has to move and reach the ovum for fertilization. So, this spermatid will undergo a process of change called what? Spermiogenesis. Okay, so what is this? What do you mean by this spermiogenesis? It is the transformation of this non-motile round shaped haploid spermatid into a functional motile spermatozoan. Okay, so what is spermiogenesis? The transformation of non-motile round shaped haploid spermatid into a functional motile spermatozoan is called a spermiogenesis. Okay. Now, as a result of spermiogenesis, 4 haploid sperms are formed. So, here you can see the sperms. These are sperms and they are also haploid in nature. That means they are having 23 chromosomes and you can now see the shape of the sperms, isn't it? The spermatids are round in shape and the sperm is having a different shape with a tail so that it is capable of movement. Okay. After spermiogenesis, the sperm head, you can see in the sperm head is there, middle piece is there and a tail is there, isn't it? The sperm head will be embedded in the Sertoli cells. Why their head will be embedded in the Sertoli cells? In order to obtain nutrients from that. Okay, they will get the nutrition from the Sertoli cell. So, for that the head of the spermatozoan will be embedded in the Sertoli cells. Okay. Then, when they are matured, what happens? The spermatozoa will be released in the lumen of the seminiferous tubule and that process is called spermiation. Okay. So, what is spermiation? When the sperms mature, they will be released in the lumen of the seminiferous tubule and that process is called spermiation. Okay. When the sperms mature, they are released in the lumen of into the cavity of the seminiferous tubule and that process is called spermiation. Okay. When the spermatogenesis begins, spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty. When a male attains puberty, spermatogenesis begins. Okay. It is due to the increase in secretion of GnRH. What is GnRH? It is gonadotropin releasing hormone. It is a hormone which is secreted by the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, you know, it is present in the brain and it secretes various releasing hormones and one among them is GnRH. GnRH is gonadotropin releasing hormone. So, it induces the pituitary gland to secrete gonadotropins. Okay. So, what is the role of GnRH? It acts on the anterior lobe of pituitary gland and stimulate the anterior lobe of pituitary gland to secrete two gonadotropins. What are the two gonadotropins? LH and FSH. LH is luteinizing hormone and FSH is follicle cell stimulating hormone. Okay, so these two are the hormones which are secreted by the anterior lobe of pituitary gland and they are said to be as gonadotropins because they have an effect on gonads. Okay, so it is said to be as gonadotropins. Okay. Now, how these two hormones will act? This luteinizing hormone, that is LH, it will act on the Leydig cells. What is Leydig cells? The cells which are present in between the seminiferous tubules inside the testicular lobules. They are said to be as Leydig cells. Okay. So, this LH act on Leydig cell and it stimulate the secretion of androgens. Okay. It stimulate the synthesis and secretion of androgens. Okay. Now, this androgen stimulate the process of spermatogenesis. Okay, so for spermatogenesis to take place, what is required? Androgens are required. For androgen to be released, what is essential? LH is essential. Okay, so LH acts on Leydig cells and stimulate the synthesis and secretion of androgens, and this androgen stimulate the process of spermatogenesis. Okay, now the other hormone, that is the FSH, it will be acting on the Sertoli cells. Where the Sertoli cells are present, the seminiferous tubules are lined by two cells. They are the germ cells and the Sertoli cells. Okay, so this FSH act on Sertoli cells and stimulate the Sertoli cells for the secretion of some factors which help in the process of spermiogenesis. So for spermiogenesis to take place, certain factors are essential, and these factors are secreted by the Sertoli cells when they are acted upon by FSH. Okay, so FSH act on Sertoli cells and stimulate the Sertoli cells to secrete certain factors that help in the process of spermiogenesis. Okay, so if hormonal control is asked, or how hormones regulate the spermatogenesis or the production of sperms, if it is asked like that, you are supposed to explain the role of the various hormones like GnRH, LH and FSH. Okay.